Welcome to Stromness, a busy little seaport where the North Atlantic sweeps in to Scapa Flow in Orkney. It's a historic place with traditional farming, food and fishing, but now it's renewable energy and research which is at the forefront. I'm Robin Barr, a member of Orkney Arts Society, which is right now building on a long tradition of music, literature and art in the county. 2021, of course, marks the centenary of George Mackay Brown, a Stromness man who would have had much to tell us if he had lived through this pandemic. On a personal level, I've been involved with Scottish music clubs, both as performer and organising secretary, as far back as the 1960s. But never gone through anything like what we've experienced in the last 15 months. Now, given a bit of encouragement, we are plugged into energy once again, and we are able to plan 3 preliminary concerts this summer ahead of the full season next winter. The CMS Transition Fund has backed our enthusiasm, thrown us a financial lifeline, just like that Stromness lifeboat.
I'm Caroline Butterfield, the Treasurer of Orkney Arts Society. So I've been responsible for keeping a tight rein on the Society's finances since lockdown meant that we couldn't have any income from live concerts anymore. The shock of having to cancel events back in March 2020 lasted a while for us. It took us until November 2020 to have our first event, an online one of course, a literary event with local writers sharing their poetry and prose, interspersed with some live music played in the Stromness Town Hall.
I mentioned at the start that innovation and renewable energy is at the forefront of Stromness business world these days. So we purposely looked to the future and commissioned a new work. On the Trysted Shore by Gemma McGregor, who lives and works in Orkney, and has taken inspiration from a verse by George Mackay Brown, performed here in his hometown, in a place he knew so well, Stromness Town Hall.
So tonight, we'll see and hear the result. Let's go into the town hall and find out the audience reaction to this first live music concert.
The concert's called Birds and Landscapes of the North. Obviously, we've all been conscious about getting outdoors during this whole lockdown. How has it felt being inside at a concert where the concert reflects nature?
But I felt like the music tonight really reflected nature, and you were really transported to outside, and you could really hear the birds as they were. It was amazing.
Here in Stromness, we're in the heart of the world that George Mackay Brown described in his writings. For this, his centenary year, it's been really difficult to put on concerts. The funding for CMS has been instrumental in getting this concert on. How important do you feel that's been?
Absolutely incredible. This is the first concert I've seen in over a year. And the feeling of having other people around me and being able to witness live music and actually other people's reactions is just really uplifting.
This evening's concert's been called Birds and Landscapes of the North. Obviously, during this pandemic, everybody's been really conscious, really trying to get outdoors. And in a sense, the concert has brought nature into us. How's it felt for you being indoors at a live music concert?
It's felt absolutely incredible, to be honest. Like you said, this is the first one since everything has opened up. And yeah, it's just even more poignant in a way, I suppose, with such a lack of anything live. You know, you just can't beat anything live, really.
Now, indoors in a venue like this, sitting all separately, masked up, everybody being quiet, is this kind of thing worth it?
Absolutely, of course. I think even if you have to be a wee bit more separated or anything, you know, everyone understands why that is, and you know, anything that you can, as long as you're safe enough and it gets things open and moving again, is absolutely worth it, yeah.
It is so lovely to be back and be able to watch stuff, and it must be so nice for the performers as well, because there is nothing like performing, and it must be so nice after being stuck inside so long.
The thing is, a performance like this would not have been possible without the funding the CMS funding. How important do you think that's been for folk involved?
Oh, I think it's really important because without it, it couldn't have happened. And I think the importance of concerts such as these can't be underestimated because it's so inspiring as a young person to be able to come and watch these kind of things. I play viola myself, so it's so amazing to be able to come and watch Catherine, and yeah, definitely worth it. Yeah.
A lot of folk might think that the life of a composer is quite solitary as it is, but how has it been being solitary in a place like Orkney?
Well, usually I'm spending a lot of time sitting at my piano in my room at home writing music, and that's my life. So I'm used to being on my own and I'm self-sufficient. But the difference is normally I travel at least once a month and I'm off to a performance or off for a meeting or meeting other musicians, being with other professional musicians. But I've just had all those months, 14 months I think, without any trips away. So I did get rather housebound and a bit low because I wasn't getting all that feedback and mixing with other musicians.
You have been fortunate in that you've rolled on with the kind of work that you do, but the funding for the commissions is really, really key to the success of this kind of project.
Well, I mean, that's been another difficult thing for people who are freelance musicians, is that a lot of the sort of casual work you pick up, well, that's all gone. Some of the larger commissions have gone, most of the call for scores have gone. So I had to be having some lateral thinking about what I could do during lockdown and already plan for performances that I can do after lockdown.
Catherine, performers and musicians have had terrible challenges this whole past year. How's it affected you?
It's been a strange old year. My kind of full-time job is with the Royal Scottish National Orchestra, so we've been working, I guess, sporadically since September as an orchestra, but a very small orchestra and a very distanced orchestra. There's been good things. Missed having audiences, but I've had more time to work on projects like this. I've learnt the viola d'amore as well, so that was a new thing.
How long is it since you've played in front of a live audience?
About probably getting on for 18 months. I think it was March 2020 with the RSNO. And I remember thinking my own project, you know, it's just going to go completely to the dogs. How am I going to do it without being able to travel north? So it's been a really long time.
Tonight's concert, Gemma, Birds and Landscapes of the North. How do you feel being in front of a live audience this time?
Oh, it was thrilling. I'm never going to take it for granted ever again. I love performing, and I've performed in many places all over the world during my life, and it's fine, it's what I do. But having not done it for all those months, to be in a beautiful venue with really appreciative people and playing music that I love was just wonderful.